Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Winner Circle of September the 3rd, 2021. And our guest speaker today will be Jeri Bovell, who's already on the line. Good morning, Jeri. How are you?
Good morning, Ricardo. I'm very well, thank you. Very excited to be here.
Thank you so
Good
much. Well,
morning.
good afternoon for you, right? You're in England today.
Yes, yeah. Good afternoon. It's 3 o'clock.
Well,
Plenty of
welcome.
time to get up and get ready.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. And Jeri lives in Cayman Islands. Okay, she is James' wife, our friend James. So we're very honored to have you. I feel that we're talking to the first lady here.
I try to remind him of that, but the boys take precedent in the house. I'm outnumbered.
Well, you know how much we all appreciate James and everybody in his office and all that you guys do. You have a great culture around the Remax office in Cayman. So thank you for that. Jeri, would you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your personal growth journey? People want to know you better.
Absolutely. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to be here. As Ricardo mentioned, um, my name is Bovell. I am married to James, and I moved from the United States to the Cayman Islands in 1992. And at that time, I was a practicing yogi, but I hadn't a teacher. My journey in holistic healthcare began when I was a girl. And I was given many tools by my grandparents, tools of just natural healthcare. And my journey on the yogic path started when I was taught some postures to reduce pressure and headaches. So at the age of 52, I've found that the world is starting to remember these holistic practices, and the employment of them is far reaching in our well-being. I I have had, like every human being, my own challenges and struggles with life, emotional and mental, and there has been nothing that has been of greater remedy than the practices of movement and meditation. I earned my master's of science in herbal medicine in the year 2018, and I'm currently a practicing herbalist and yoga teacher in the Cayman Islands. So I can just continue if you like. I'll just keep
And
talking.
well, maybe give us a heads up. What are we going to talk about today? What do you have in
So
mind?
what I had hoped to do was give an overarching view of what holistic healthcare encompasses and offer an understanding of the practices of breath control and mindfulness meditation.
Oh,
So,
I
pardon me?
love that. I love that. That's fantastic. Well, I have been practicing mind control, a form of meditation, uh, since I was probably 17 years old. So
Wonderful.
that's not long ago, though. I love to say that joke. So so always meditation, mind control, visualization, breathing, that has been a big part of my life, and I know it works. I used to believe that it worked. Now I don't believe that it works. Now I know that it works. So Jeri, again, thank you for being with us, and we're here to listen to you, so please take it away.
Beautiful. It does. It is profound. And when one will just take the opportunity, one can usually have a remarkable experience on the first time, the first practice. Um, a holistic healthcare understanding encompasses physical, mental, emotional, spiritual and social aspects of oneself. These are all contributors to the entire experience. It's easy to visualize these aspects of our experience if you draw a simple pie chart. And if you segment that pie and label each pie slice as one aspect of your life. So you can label one as career, one as family, one as finance, one as diet, one as exercise, one as spiritual well-being. And you very simply create a number ladder from the center to the edge. And then you assign a numerical value to each slice of pie, depending on the amount of attention and awareness that you give each of these aspects of your life. When you connect those numbers, you have a visual sense of where most of your energy and time and effort is applied in your life. Because all of these aspects of self contribute to the entire well-being of self, it's important that you pay attention to all aspects.
Question.
So,
I have, yeah, sorry to interrupt. I have a question. What's the name of that image or chart or pie, or how do you call it, so we can Google it and
there are many names, but you can call it a holistic healthcare chart or holistic
awesome,
healthcare pie.
awesome.
Yes.
And would you explain what the word holistic means?
Holistic means whole. The difference between, let's say, a Western medical application of health and a holistic application of health is usually Western medicine is reductionist in scope. They will look at one aspect, they will look at one symptom or one area of your physiology. But we know absolutely that modern science has caught up with traditional practices, and we can see that mental well-being is affected by physical health. Physical health affects the mental well-being. They are intrinsically connected. So the contributors of mental health include stress, relationship, spiritual practices, and all of the relationships that we have. This means familial, romantic, and relationships with nature. All of these together encompass holistic health.
See,
So the way
thank
that
you.
I work as a practitioner is when I speak to someone and I hear their story, I consider their path, what they've been exposed to, where do they spend their time, how are they spending their life energy. What I hoped to do today was move beyond the visual awareness of holistic health and into a level of awareness that is somatic. It becomes an understanding because you're using senses beside the visual sense. Somatic awareness becomes a knowing that is utilizing all of the senses for information. This practice, the meditative practice, is one that can be used at any time and anywhere. It's affordable, it's accessible. And the reason that I use this is that there is no quicker change physiologically to the blood chemistry than drawing a full breath. One can live without food for a while. One can live without water for a while, but one cannot live without breath. Oxygen is necessary for metabolism of all cells. Oxygen is necessary for detoxification of all cells. So we use these practices for many reasons. But the reason that I would like to bring today is to allow people to understand that not only is it very accessible, but it allows you to reach greater depth of awareness and higher levels of intelligence. I don't know. I know that you have practiced, Ricardo, for many years. If you'll allow me one brief break, I'm in the UK and I've just had a call. I need to give my phone to my son. Please forgive me.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. Please take care of that.
Leo, Leo.
So, can you guys type in the chat if you have had any experience with these topics? If you meditate or practice yoga or some type of mind control, can you type in the chat how much do you practice, or if this is totally new to you, or if you're used to this and yes, I get this and I can teach lessons as well. So we would love to hear from you. Please tell us in the chat, and also any question that you might have, you can write it in the chat. Yes, back to you, Jeri. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted. Oh, no, you're muted. You're muted. Hello, hello. Yes,
Thank
you're
you, Ricardo.
back. Awesome, you're
Please
back.
that interruption.
No problem.
My son is going to be in the background.
Okay.
And
yeah.
Brilliant.
Well, if you hear a dog barking, it's my dog. It's not me. Okay, so we all have noise in the background. Don't worry about it.
And it's a very, very valuable lesson at the moment, because many people will say to me, I'm sorry, but I cannot practice meditation. I cannot find stillness, or I cannot turn off my brain. And I remind them that I hope you never turn off your brain. The brain's job is to gather the information and integrate that so that we have a reference for managing life on this planet. There will always be distractions. And the reason that Ricardo thought that this might be a good program for the professionals in REMAX is because we are living in a world where we are connected 24 hours, 7 days a week. And this is a service job, which means that you go when you are called. And unfortunately, living in that rush, we lose touch with our own rhythms. We start to live from the mind. The mind is the seat of the ego. And I say that because intellectual intelligence is intelligence that is learned from teachings of other people. Your somatic and your intuitive awareness is very much your own personal awareness of your truths and your interpretation of life on this planet. When you live in harmony with your truth, then you are apt to bring forward your gifts. You live in harmony and in alignment. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, I would like to ask you a question. You mentioned the mind, and you mentioned the mind in association with the ego. Would you please explain that a little bit more? And just so you know, we're having comments here. Andre Toussaint from US Virgin Islands says, this is new to me. Kirsten Stiebel says, I have had experience, and she's a certified yoga teacher, and she follows mindful meditation. Hannah from Costa Rica says, I love the holistic self-care concept. I try to meditate every day. That's important, more of a biblical focus and foundation. Okay, it's hard sometimes. I miss a comment, but so that's, you have an idea of the audience. For some, this is new. For some, they know this.
Beautiful. So the mind's, the job of the mind, and you may have heard reference to it being a calculator. It is far greater than a calculator, but the mind's job is to receive signals and sensory input, whether those are endogenous coming from your inner world or exogenous coming from the exterior world. The mind receives input from the body's, it categorizes those signals and puts them into a filing system so that you have a reference for how to navigate on the planet. The ego is the sense of being that is a sense of your place on the planet. You gain the ego from experience and from teaching. So this starts from birth. All that you know about the world starts with your first teachers, those persons charged with rearing you, with giving you life and nurturing you through to adulthood. And during that time, you learn how to make your way through by navigating and gathering information visually, somatically, through your auditory senses, through your gut awareness, your intuitive body. So the ego comes from a very strict brain sense. Your intuitive self comes from a level of intelligence that is subconscious and is also a part of the energy field and the information input that is around you. When we live very busy lives, when we are caught up in the race, when we don't take time to find stillness and to integrate this information, the brain doesn't stop. The brain will wait until there's a moment and then it will work to integrate. Unfortunately, these days where we are running just around a wheel, the mind finds the time when we choose to rest or when we choose to sleep. So the mind integrating your daily experiences, your daily challenges, and your daily stressors will attempt to happen when you try to sleep. So this leads to sleep deprivation. We know absolutely that sleep deprivation is one of the leading triggers to chronic illness and ailment. Without sleep, the body cannot repair, the body cannot restore itself. So for those of us who like to use the term compartmentalize, I'll deal with that later. The later comes when you finally sit down to rest. So employing the tools of mindfulness and meditation, even for a couple of minutes at a time, will allow you that brief repose from your very busy day to integrate information. It allows the brain to reduce the fluctuations of the mind so that you have a better awareness of not only what is your reservoir of egoic and intellectual knowledge, but what is your current somatic intuitive understanding of a situation. In doing that, you have an opportunity to make decisions that are more ethical and more in line with what you truly feel fits the appropriate situation. You respond to life stressors instead of reacting to life stressors. So taking these moments allows us to become more emotionally engaged, more emotionally aware, and more emotionally in control of ourselves and our responses.
Interesting. Now, I feel that sleep deprivation, that has become very, very common nowadays. So what would you tell? Most people say, no, 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 I only need 5 hours of sleep. I'm good. And many people feel that, well, they are a stronger person maybe, or a stronger personality, or they have a strong body or something when they sleep very little. Is that a true statement, or what would you tell to someone that tells you, no, 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 5 hours is all I need?
It's an interesting concept, one that we have, we go around at my house. Um, I'm I cannot tell you what you need as an individual. I can tell you that there are certain sleep cycles that must be met in order for you to achieve restorative sleep. And if one is tossing and turning through the night, if one has sleep apnea, or if they are snoring, if there is this constant movement in bed where you are not settled, I would say that your sleep is not restorative. I you can read science, but science is interpreted as well. So if you sleep for 5 hours and you feel that you wake without being drowsy, without being groggy, and you feel that that is adequate sleep, then that's adequate sleep for you.
Interesting.
I think sleeping too much is also to the detriment of your metabolism. So I believe that understanding sleep hygiene is incredibly important. And those are the parameters of counting down before you go to sleep, setting yourself up for a proper night's sleep, limiting distractions, limiting the use on computers and telephones, having a cool, clean environment that is free of debris and mess and chaos. Those will allow for a more quick falling into sleep and for a more restful few hours of sleep.
Thank you. What I normally tell people is just try it for a week. Try to increase 1 or 2 hours of sleep. Try to leave the cell phone outside your bedroom. Try not to watch TV and the bad news before going to bed. Give it a try. Try for a week and see how you feel. Many people, I feel that they have forgotten how good it feels to sleep many hours of good restorative sleep.
Ready whenever you guys are.
And it does take time to change the body's chemistry and physiology. So this, if you've lived for many years or decades in one particular pattern, you must allow yourself the time to alter these habits. I've always been taught that when living with either a symptom, an illness, or a habit, you must allow one to have at least 1 month for every year that you've lived with a disease or a disorder. We know that it takes about 21 to 30 days to release a negative habit and employ a new habit. And it takes at least 3 months to gain a new lifestyle perspective of this new habit. So unfortunately, people don't give themselves enough time to employ these practices. We're also a society that is very accustomed to having immediate gratification. The drugs that we use reduce symptomology immediately. The apps that we use address our wants immediately. We have not given ourselves adequate time to grow.
It's so true. We go too fast sometimes, don't we?
Yes, very much so.
Yes, I agree. There is another comment from Carolina Trejo. Carolina says, I have some experience in meditation and mindfulness practice, but there is always more to learn. Okay.
Beautiful. So let's get started.
Yes,
There are
please.
many ways, and there are many types of meditation. The meditations that I bring forward today are, I use these on a regular basis myself. I used them this morning when I was in the shower. I use them when I teach children, I teach adults, I teach cancer patients. These are accessible anytime, anywhere, and they are very effective. They lead to longer spates of meditation. So the very first one that I would like you to do is, if you can firstly find, you can do these practices either sitting in a chair or lying down. But I would like for you to find a comfortable seat. The more comfortable you are, the less distractions you have in your body to pull you away from your internal journey. If you will allow yourself to close your eyes, this is a practice that we use in yoga called Pratyahara. It's sense withdrawal. And so we minimize the visual distractions and allow ourselves to tune in to the internal environment. So sitting tall, long spine, just allow your eyes to turn down toward your heart center. And then on your next inhale, just fill your body with breath. Fill your body to the top of your capacity. And when you've met the very top of your capacity, take 2 more sups of air in and hold that breath within for a couple of moments, feeling it expand. And then as you are ready, exhale completely all the way to the bottom of the breath. No breath left in your body at all. And at the very bottom of that breath, squeeze the last bits of air out and withhold your breath for just a moment. When you're called to inhale, simply breathe normally and feel the sweetness, taste the sweetness. And notice if you don't feel a shift in your energy from just a deep breath. With your eyes still closed, just be aware of your natural rhythms. No alteration, no adjustment. Just refamiliarizing yourself with your innate rhythms. The body is 75 to 80% water. When we use sound, we align the energy centers of the cells. Mantra meditation is one very effective method. We are going to use something called the bee's breath, like the humming bee. So on your next inhale, just allow your body to receive a deep breath. And with your mouth closed, on your exhale, hum. Do this a couple of times, breathing in normally, filling your lungs. Allow your body to be at ease. And as you exhale, keep your mouth closed and hum. Feel the reverberation, almost as if it's an internal massage along the spine. Breathing out. And allow that reverberation to move into the areas of your body where you might feel tension or tightness. One more time, breathing in, allow the body to receive your breath. And as you exhale, and then just allow your natural breath to return, the natural rhythms to be present. Allow your eyes to be at rest. We're just going to move the physical body a little bit before we go a little bit deeper. We use movement to release constriction within the tissues. As we become a society of desk dwellers, we have tension that is held in the back body, often in the neck from being bent over. The neck is the bridge between the body and the mind. And so we want to reduce some of those constrictions. So on your next exhale, bring your hands into prayer in front of your heart. And then interlace the fingers. And as you inhale, turn your palms away from your chest and push the hands away from the body, pressing the hands forward. As you exhale, round the spine, pull your belly button back toward the spine, let your chin fall toward the hollow of the neck. So you've created a C shape. And then as you inhale, begin to lift the arms over your head, lifting the breastbone, Stop when you feel restriction. And on your next inhale, breathe into the side ribs. Reach the hands higher to the sky. And as you exhale, pull the belly to your spine and reach up through the thumb side of the hands. One more deep breath in. Exhale, separate the hands, open the arms wide, and bring the hands down by your side. One more set of exercise. As you inhale, lift the right arm up to the sky. Drape your forearm over the crown of your head so the right hand touches the left ear. On your inhale, lift the left ear up to the sky and allow the weight of the arm to guide the right ear down to the right shoulder. As you inhale, anchor the left hip and open the left ribs with your breath like a fan between each rib. Taking a couple breaths just to open the side body. As you inhale now, release the right arm, lift the head and arm up to the sky, and then right arm to your side, moving to the left side. Inhale, left arm to the sky, drape your forearm over the crown, and allow the exhale to drop the left ear to the left shoulder using the weight of the hand. Not too much pressure, just the weight of your arm. As you inhale, anchor your right hip to the earth and use the breath to open the right ribs like a fan between the ribs, opening the intercostal muscles. And then on your inhale, release the left arm, lift your head back to the sky, and bring your hands to your lap, allowing the hands to find the most perfect resting position on your lap. Eyes are soft or closed. If you're more comfortable with your eyes open, find a spot that you can gaze upon, reducing the distractions, focusing the mind. Allow your awareness to be on the rhythm of your breath. No adjustment, no judgment, just awareness of your own rhythm. And as you gain awareness of your natural rhythms, you're moving into the position of witness instead of positioning as a doer. We move into the area of awareness by just watching and not interrupting. As you watch the ebb and flow of your breath, recognize what comes easier for you, inhalation or exhalation. Both are necessary. Finding balance. Just be aware. It has been said that if breathing in is easier for you, you take more from this life. If breathing out is easier for you, you give more. Both are necessary. Balance creates longevity. So we will move into balancing the breath. And we do this through a count. On your next exhale, allow the breath to be emptied completely from your body. And then as you inhale, count 3, 2, 1, and hold for a brief moment. And then exhale, 3, 2, 1. Again, a pause. Then breathing in, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Pause. On your own, breathing in 3 counts with a pause at the top. Breathing out 3 counts with a pause at the bottom. Repeat this rhythm a few more breaths. As you are breathing this count, allow yourself to feel the effect of your breath. Notice the inner expansion on the inhalation. And the gentle grounding, softening of the exhalation. Your awareness, even though you are occupying the brain, is somatic intelligence. If you found the rhythm to be comfortable, we are going to add one more to our count, starting now, for breathing in 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at the top. Exhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at the bottom. Breathing in 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at the top. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at the bottom. Your count. A few more breaths. Using the count will focus the mind, allowing the body to find calmness, stillness, and restoration. If at any time your mind begins to wander, just be aware and pull your attention back to the breath. Employ the count, the same count to breathe in is the same count to breathe out. As the practice begins to steady itself, you may notice an energetic, uplifting quality. It is very subtle, but you may sense it. You may also feel a sensation of being centered and grounded, all of your energy collected. Now allow yourself to let go of the technique. Allow yourself to remain the witness to your breath. Just watching the rise and the fall of the breath. Noticing when the patterns change. Noticing the texture of your breath. See if you can soften and smooth the flow of your breath. Smooth and silent. While you're aware of your breath, allow your mind to scan your body from the crown down, sensing for areas where you are still gripping, where you are still holding subconscious tension. Soften the brow, the temples, the orbits of the eyes. Release any tension at the inner ear, the base of the skull, the back of the neck. Allow your shoulders to fall away from the ears, your collarbones to broaden, and your heart to lift. Allow the ribs to easily float open and to softly narrow. Soften your belly and the internal organs, and allow any tension along the spine to leave on your exhale. Allow your breath to anchor your hips, your pelvis, your sits bones, and allow any tension in the lower back or the legs to soften. Take the breath out into the limbs. And allow the breath to release what's no longer needed. Sometimes you can feel the mind becoming restless before a thought is even formed. This pre-thought is the body's intelligence. Allow your breath to be your focus. Bring your awareness back to the breath, moving in through the nose, filling your lungs. And start to deepen that breath now. Oxygenating the tissues, stimulating circulation. And then turn your palms up to receive and to move back into your world. And then softly start to blink your eyes open. And just take note of how you feel and what has shifted. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. This feels very good. I hope we haven't lost the recorder. No, it's still recording. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. And yeah, let's see some comments in the chat, please. Let's see what are people thinking? How are you guys feeling? Juan Severino from Panama says, "Thank you, Jeri. I have enjoyed your meditation control class." All
You're
right.
so
Yeah, anyone that would like to comment, please do so. Oh, I feel so good and refreshed. I'm ready for the day. I do have one or two quick questions. Kirsten Stevens says, thank you, Jerry. Thank you so much, says Jaime Gonzalez. It's been wonderful. Hannah Fletcher from Costa Rica says, so good to slow down for a few minutes.
Right.
Yes.
Jerry, I would like to say something. That was so nice. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry for everyone. I'm sorry, we have 40 people on the line and I might cry. So I apologize in advance. But my question is, so I think we've all lived through a very stressful year. I had surgery about a month and a half ago. So it's been a very restrictive surgery. Like I have to keep my elbows to my sides, and I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. So it's been very hard. And you have 3 kids. It gets chaotic. So that was so nice. But I feel like if you could give me some tips on like how not to just lose my shit, and I apologize for my language, but like when the chaos is going on, like how can I like recenter? So yes.
That's such a valuable input, Christina. And I mean, I've lived through those. I'm still living through it with the teenage years. I have a lot of practices. Breath is just one of them. You have to remember that emotions are experienced in the body as hormonal signals. When we don't move our body, you are being physically restricted. Those hormones released are stored in the tissues. That is why it is imperative that we move our bodies. Sedentarianism is one of the killers of today's modern world. So firstly, moving your body to remove those substances. Secondly, I would start to look at other modes of complementary alternative modalities. So I remove myself from the situation. I use my breath. I use essential oils. I use massage. I use techniques like meditation. I use techniques like tapping, which is acupressure, similar to acupuncture. It's moving the energy through the body, and also moving to the point where you feel like you've shifted the energy in your body. So exercise is incredibly important in any way possible. Yoga Nidra is guided visual meditation. And this is one where you can really reduce the stress and the tension that's held in the tissues. The other thing that you can do with young children is really find someone else that can assist you with occupying them so that you have time for yourself. And to always remember that taking time to repair and restore is necessary for you as an individual, but primarily for you as a caregiver, a teacher, and a leader. We as women are, I was brought up in the 70s at the height of the feminist revolution, and women were told that they could be anything that they wanted to be. And at that point, we had to make the decision between career and children. In the 80s, it was thought, well, we can do it all. Well, we can't. No one can do it all. And we put these burdens on ourselves to be the best PTA mom, the best Girl Scout leader, the best mom with the cutest kids, a career professional, and one that makes gains in the world. We put too much pressure on ourselves without giving ourselves the opportunity to restore and to rebuild. So looking at any kind of therapy to help reduce the tension in the tissues, but also recognizing what spiritually moves you. If that is a church, if that is music, if that is dance, what uplifts your spirit? Use those every day. your healthcare practice is one that you have to attend to. And I don't think that we give these practices enough gravitas. They are only now coming on to the forescreen of under the recognition of preventative medicine. When we've done all that we could do with pharmaceutical applications and we're still told that we're not well, people are turning to these therapies because they are true and they've been practiced for thousands and thousands of years.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good, great question, Christina. And we have a lot of young women on the line. We have many moms and everybody's so busy. So it was very, very timely. We're going to start wrapping up, but I would like to acknowledge several comments. Julie Shietomi from Honduras, she says, my goodness, that was wonderful. I'm looking forward to the recording so I can do that more often. I have not slowed down like this ever.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. Julie, I'm glad that you're getting a lot from this. Andrea Carrasco from Guatemala says, thank you, Jeri. Luciana from El Salvador, thank you, Jeri. I feel so relaxed. Now we have a special case here, Lorena. And Lorena is, Lorena from Costa Rica, Guanacaste, Lorena Alvarado. Lorena is, she is, give me a second, I want to read her comment because she made it public. She is suffering from coronavirus. And she says, this helps me with my body aches that I have. Gracias. Hannah Fletcher, yeah, a lot of people are expressing her sympathy, people praying for her, sending her good vibes, prayers from Puerto Rico. And this is the last comment I'm going to read. I apologize for the rest. Raul from Puerto Rico says, thank you, Jeri. Great tips from Health and Wellness. Happy and safe Labor Day weekend to all.
Thank you.
Wow. Jeri, any closing thoughts that you would like to share? You know us, we're business people and we're always on the run. What would you like to tell us?
The other thing that came to me, Christina, that I didn't say, and this is applicable for all of us, is as a herbalist, I'm a huge believer in the power of plants and the power of plant remedies. And firstly, it all starts with diet. So looking at substances that are inflammatory, processed sugars, processed flours, removing those from the diet, employing or the intake of healthy fats are necessary. But I drink herbal teas all day, every day. And there are incredible nervine restorative teas, things like passion flower and skullcap. These are wonderful calming nervines. They can be given to children. They can be given to every age. You can use them in the plant formula. You can use them in tincture. You can use them in capsules. They're incredibly effective. But our well-being starts with our breath and our diet. We are what we eat. So I encourage everyone to eat as cleanly as they can and be aware of toxic colors, dyes, additives, and just try and eat healthily.
Thank you, Jeri. And we in my household, we try to, that's a very important part of it. But as you can imagine, being so restricted, it's been hard in the past month and a half. So I do feel like it does correlate. James just joined, so just so you know. So, but thank you so much. Hi, James.
So welcome, Christina, and feel free to reach out to me anytime. Absolutely.
Thank you, Jeri. I really, really appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. That was wonderful. And James, are you here? Hello. How are you? Welcome.
I'm here, man. I'm here.
We're here with the First Lady.
I know, the boss. The boss.
The boss. Yes. There you go.
Exactly.
All right. Well,
fantastically well, man.
Oh, I'm so happy that you joined. Thank you. Jeri, thank you very much. We're going to wrap up now because we like to finish on the hour, but this was very, very special, a special moment for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It was my pleasure. I'm truly grateful to be here. I wish you all well. And if anyone needs me, please reach out.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Jeri.
Adios.
you.
Bye-bye.